Hey Houdini owners, Dave Brennan with American Pinball Tech Service. Today I'm going over the steps to replace the stage curtain servo mechanism on your Houdini. I already have a separate video showing the steps to troubleshoot this servo, and I assume you've already watched that and have now determined that your servo needs replacing, and you've already seen that we have those servos available on the American Pinball website. Just know that those are pre-calibrated for the open and closed positions of the door, and so you have to install a servo that is already pre-calibrated, otherwise it is not going to work. So without further ado, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to show you all the steps to take out the old and put in the new. The first thing you'll want to do is remove the lockdown bar and playfield glass, and then just lift up your playfield and then just set it on the yellow support rails resting in the lock bar receiver like this. Now with your game turned on, I want you to go into the service menu, go into tests, and then go over to stage test, and then I want you to stay in this menu screen as we go through and change out the servo. So for example, I'm going to show you that this current servo in here has some problems, so all you're really going to be using is the flipper buttons to move the stage curtain open and closed for this procedure. But just to show, the curtain is currently closed, so hit the right flipper button, it will open it. You can hear that this one, the servo gears are stripped inside the motor, and so it will really only move one way. Anyway, so just stay in that menu, and let me reposition the camera and we'll start taking this servo out. This is a top-down view of the back side of the stage screen, so you just need to take off these two Phillips screws to remove this plastic cover. And then you can start to see the servo, but I'm going to have to remove this whole stage screen in order to get at it. So start by disconnecting the power and the video feed to the small screen, and then you can kind of get these out of the way. You're going to take off the standoffs on the back side where the Phillips screws were just attached. And then you're going to take off the bolts to the left and right. I already had these loosened a bit, so that's why they're just finger tight. You might need a wrench to open these or to loosen these up. Okay, now just set this off to the side. Now it'll help to remove this connector for the light for the stage, just to get that out of your way. Alright, now you have 4 nylon lock nuts on the left and right side that are holding down the servo bracket. Now take note of the servo position. This is where the wire comes out the front, towards the front of the stage. You're going to attach the new servo in exactly the same orientation. And so you'll want to lift up on the whole mechanism. And so now to transfer it over, you have to you have some Phillips screws and some lock nuts on the side, and you'll need to loosen all 4 of those and then put the new servo in. Alright, now that I've loosened the screws, you can take the last one off the rest of the way. Remember to take note that your cord goes towards the front of the stage. Be careful that you don't drop the screws in the back of the playfield, otherwise you might need a magnet to retrieve them. Okay, so now that that's off, I need to take the new servo out of the bag. And then I'm going to place it in the same orientation. Then I'm going to put the screws back in the same way. Alright, now that that's attached, you're going to take the connector for the servo and you're going to feed it, straighten it out, and you're going to feed it down back behind the stage in the same place where your old servo was going. So just feed that down until you can see it on the bottom side of the playfield. And then I'm going to lift up the playfield and show you where that gets attached. Alright, now that I've fed the servo connector through the playfield, you're going to essentially just plug it in the exact same spot where the old one was. So at the top of the board, you'll see the connection for it, and they're labeled on the board 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, going from right to left. The curtain is the 0 position, so you'll unplug that one. And you're going to plug in the new in the exact same spot with the white wire going towards the bottom of the board. And that's all there is to it. So from there you can lower the playfield again, and we'll go to the top side. Alright, now back on the top side of the playfield, you can pull the old servo out the rest of the way. Okay, so now that your servo is connected and you still have the stage testing mechanism screen still up, so now you should be able to move the servo back and forth with your flipper buttons and see that the servo is moving back and forth. So now what you have to do is put your servo in the closed curtain position, and so this is with it not attached to, this is the servo the servo adapter. On one side it has gear teeth, and then the other side are hex, and that goes, the hex goes down onto the shaft of the curtain door. And what you want to do is put the stage door or the curtain into the closed position, and then you're going to set the servo down onto the shaft adapter so that it's in the closed position. You might have to wiggle the stage door back and forth to get it positioned so it seats down, but the whole idea is you really want the stage door to open and close so it's not hitting the hard stops of the open and closed position. If it does hit the hard stops, then what that's going to do is it's going to continually push this servo, because this doesn't know. It's going to continually push trying to open or close because it can't get to its set stop points. That's what the calibration is for. So when you are testing this, listen and feel for, does it have a hard stop when it opens and closes. So now I'm going to go back to my flipper buttons and I'm going to push the open and closed. Do that several times and make sure that when the door is closed it has a little bit of play so it's not hitting the hard stop, and when it's open, same kind of thing, just reach your finger in there and you should be able to feel a little bit of play that it's not hitting the fully open or the hard stop. If it is, then all you have to do is put it into, just lift up on the servo again, and what you can do is reposition the door. Like this has more adjustments for the gear teeth, so you can reposition the door a little bit and set it back down, and then try the test again and just kind of go back and forth. If you need to, you can pull up on the shaft adapter and turn it like one, just a third of a turn, and then try to get that position right. So do that until you have it the way that you want it and it's not hitting those hard stops, and then you can finish putting the servo back together. And there we go. Houdini stage curtain is back in business. From here you can back out of the service menu and you're ready to play. If you have any questions about anything that I covered in this video, please reach out to me at the email or phone number listed at the bottom of the screen. For American Pinball, I'm Dave Brennan. Thanks for watching.